There is only life here. It's represented on Earth through billions of humans and all these different species, but it's the same thing, only life in the universe with itself. Realizing this would create peace, non-judgment and acceptance of self and of others. True love. In religious terms, this new world of peace is called a messianic age, one that would be brought on by a messiah, a world teacher, someone who would lead us to the promised land, to Zion, to the utopia, to freedom. I believe I am that someone, because God has shown me that I am. He is relentless and is ushering me down this path. Time will tell what my life will be, but as I will no longer avoid this higher calling, my existence will at the very least serve to create a global dialogue about our present state, what we truly are, and catalyze the realization of our oneness. If I fail, I won't feel too bad, because every single other life form in the universe ever has failed in realizing its oneness. Let me explain. Life evolves exponentially. Single-celled life started about 4 billion years ago, while multicellular life only started about 1.5 billion years ago. So it took about 2.5 billion years just to get life to become multicellular. Then we go from the first land life to dinosaurs to the first mammals to the first humans, all in less than 500 million years. The first humans were about 200,000 years ago. We only invented writing about 5,000 years ago. We only started to learn how to harness electricity about 150 years ago. The invention of the light bulb is less than 150 years old. Cars only started becoming mainstream less than 100 years ago. We use computers and the internet all the time, but the internet is only about 30 years old. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are all less than 15 years old. The first iPhone was only released about 10 years ago. The evolution of life is super exponential, and our advancements and leaps forward would only continue to happen in shorter and shorter amounts of time. Our evolution into a superspecies with godlike powers is probably less than a lifetime away. So what about all the other life in the universe? Shouldn't there be species that already reached this god status? The universe is about 14 billion years old, while life on Earth is about 4 billion years old, so that gives other life about 10 billion years to advance beyond where we are. Couple that head start with the exponential factor that we just covered, and there's no doubt there should be enlightened super aliens as powerful as the entire universe by now. And given how insanely large the universe is, there should be a lot of different species that reach that level. So where are they? What happened? The truth is, they've all black holed. Here's why. As life realizes it is here with no one but itself, in the universe that created it, it begins to acquire a supernatural connection to the universe. Life exists for the universe, and once life realizes this, the universe openly and lovingly allows itself to be manifested as life sees fit. At a certain level, life begins able to move and shape the universe with its mind alone, literally moving matter to the desires of its thoughts. As life becomes more and more aware that it is truly one with the universe, this hyperconnection grows to a point of no return where things can turn south if the beings of life don't fully offer themselves to the universe. If they hold back or retreat mentally at this superconnected level, a black hole is created, as the universe can do nothing but follow the flow of the hyperconnected consciousness. Alternatively, if the super-powerful beings understand they are the universe and give themselves up completely, they truly become the universe itself, creating a universal ascension, reversing the other black holes, saving the lights that trap themselves. Obviously, this has not happened yet, as we're still here living in an unascended universe, and thus all the alien life that reached their moment of truth failed. I believe that's where the idea of hell being trapped in an underworld comes from. In reality, it's where consciousness traps itself into a black hole. It seems it should be so simple to realize you are one with the universe that created you, but I suppose, since we spend our entire evolution being less than it, we have a difficult time accepting our evolved state as gods of the universe, and one way or another life consistently fails to ascend. I wholeheartedly believe that humans will be the ones to ascend the universe, and perhaps aiming that far will make the relatively smaller and easier task of world peace more achievable. It seems simple enough. There's clearly only life here, so why haven't we realized it? I believe we subconsciously definitely know there's nothing but life here, no one but us. Yet we're consciously avoiding and denying our interconnection. I believe the present-day limit is due to controversies relating to different forms of love. I believe it's clear that life wants to love itself, but as a society, we've put limits on what we deem to be acceptable forms of love. We've begun to accept gay and lesbian relationships in most parts of the world, yet incest, pedophilia, and bestiality are still widely publicly shunned, though seem to be strongly privately practiced and desired. It's clear and obvious that the desires for life to love itself in all forms will never go away. World peace will escape us until we step up to honestly and openly view and discuss our present state. I will do what I can by following this path and coming out as the supposed Messiah and letting nature take its course from there. It'll be rough at first, but I know I'll be alright. I think it's gonna be like riding a longboard down a really steep hill. It starts to pick up speed and it gets wobbly and shaky and you're scared you might fall, but if you clamp down and ride it out, the shakiness evens out and you finish the hill and you made it. It's scary, but if you ride it out, you'll be alright. You gotta ride it out. You can't bail. And for now, I leave you with this. Your thoughts are nothing but a product of life in the universe. They belong here, and in fact, the universe wants for you to manifest your thoughts into reality. It's why you exist. Be yourself fully and share your thoughts.